What's up everybody, Zabulus here, and I think I just created a monster. Are you guys ready to see some disgusting damage? So as you just witnessed, this build hits super hard, but it's also tanky because it's in heavy armor and it actually has a burst heal as a StamSorc. So guys, I'm running 2-piece Scoria, 1 light, 1 medium. I'm running 5 pieces of Cyrodiil's Crest on my body, so that's 5 heavy, 1 medium and 1 light. I'm running in total 3 impens, 2 sturdies, 2 well fitted to save some stamina, so I get at about 2.1k crit resist, and all of my body enchants are stamina. Everything is max stamina. This set gives us like 30k health, which is like insane. I really like having this much health. So the second set is gonna be a Red Mountain. We are running 3 jewelry and 2 weapons on the front bar, so it's 3 robust on the jewelry and 2 weapon damage and 1 cost reduction for helping our sustain a little bit more. So on the weapons then we have a dagger and a mace. Both are sharpened. Make sure you gold one of them and you put it on your main hand. That way it will scale better. So let me quickly show you. See how my weapon damage went down, and when I put the golden one in my main hand, I get more weapon damage, so make sure you do that. And we are running double dot poisons because these poisons do a lot of damage and they're great. On the back bar we have an agility mole, Nernhound with a weapon damage enchantment. Let's get into the skills now. So I'm running Rending Slashes. This is a great dot and it slows down our enemies, so it's really nice to control your enemy and it's easier to hit them after they're slowed. Now we're running Bloodthirst. This is pretty much our main damage ability. It's like it's a lot of damage over time. It counts as damage over time, so it will proc our Scoria, and it's a lot of ticks of damage, so it will also proc our Red Mountain. And it heals you as well, so it's pretty nice. It pretty much counts as another hot for us in our build. Then we have this very cheesy, overpowered skill right now. Let me quickly show you the buff tooltip. It's about 20k physical damage over 10 seconds. You get this skill from the Soul Magic skill line. It's Consuming Trap, so yeah, this is really good right now. It's a lot of damage. It's likely to get nerfed, to be honest. But even when this get nerfed, this build will still be strong even then. We are then running Dark Deal, you know, on a StamSorc, this is important. Critical Surge, same thing. Dawnbreaker, I like this ultimate because it gives a dot as well, which can proc Scoria. We are then running Hurricane. This also counts as another dot in our build. So in total, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 dots to proc our Scoria, because this is 2 dots, and you know, on the rest of our abilities we have pretty much 5 dots to proc our Scoria. So Scoria procs a lot, and it's a lot of damage. It's great. We are then running Dizzying Swing. This is going to be our CC, and that's the reason why I'm running a Maul of Agility, because Maul gives me like a lot of penetration, and it's pretty much the best weapon to run when you want to be bursty, and that's what I want to be on my back bar. I want to be bursty. I want to do my damage on my front bar, and then when I want to CC them, I want to do a hard-hitting Dizzying Swing. Then I go back to my front bar and keep doing the damage, and that's really bursty, and it works really great. So yeah, that's good. And the animation of that skill got buffed as well, and the damage got buffed as well, so yeah, it's much more reliable than it used to be. We are then running Ball of Lightning for your mobility and open world. This is really good because it leaves behind a ball of lightning and it absorbs projectiles, and it really increases your survivability open world by a lot, so I really love this skill right now. Then we are running Vigor. Obviously, this got buffed as well. And Forward Momentum, which gives us... It doesn't give us a hot anymore, but it gives us increased stamina recovery. So that's pretty good as well. And since Vigor got buffed, you don't really need the heal over time from Forward Momentum anymore. We are then running Greater Storm Atronach. So on the back bar, you can pretty much run any ult you want. You could try to run Berserker Strike. I don't know which morph is the best. I never use this ability, but you could run it. You could run Negate, any morph of Negate. You could run Greater Storm Atronach. The reason I like Greater Storm Atronach is when I'm open world, I can drop this down and it pretty much acts like another player that's helping me, you know. It's very strong, it's tanky, it does a lot of damage, and it gives me great passives on my back bar because let me find it. Where is it? There it is. Daedric Protection. So it just by having this skill slotted, I get 20% extra health and stamina recovery. So this is huge. As you can see, on my back bar, I have more stamina recovery than my front bar and more health recovery as well. I get up to 1k. So I really like this ult. This is pretty much my defensive ult. What I do open world is I kite a little bit, and then when players still come on me, I get like to a choke point and I drop this ult, and it's really good. Now I'm gonna go into the stat sheet. So okay, so guys, here are the stats. Not really impressive max stam or weapon damage. Let me show you. But this build hits hard, trust me guys. We have 1k Magicka recovery, 800 stamina, 800 health recovery, 1.5k stamina recovery, so 30k, 30k, that's pretty nice. I like the health. We then have 10k Magicka, and we have all points into stamina. We have the Serpent Mundus for our sustain, and we are using gold food. Let me show you. Yeah, this food that gives us max health and all 3 recoveries. So that's really good. That's how I get my Magicka sustain. Because as you noticed, we are not running the Prisoners set on this build. So we need some other source of Magicka sustain. And as you also noticed, we are not running Troll King. So to get another source of healing that we need on StamSorc, I'm running Cyrodiil's Crest. That's why I have this set in the first place. Now let's get into the pots. So I'm using Essence of Invisibility sometimes. You know, when I kite, I just... Where is it? There it is. Okay, so I just, like, when I have like a Zerg chasing me, a lot of the times I just streak away and use an Invis pot, and then I'm safe, you know. because they can't see me. So yeah, it's for kiting and shit. That's pretty good. Or sneak passing enemies as well. You can do that. Essence of Lingering Health. So this gives you a lot of healing over time. It's really adding up with all of your other sources of heal over time. And it makes you really tanky. And on top of all of that, you have the burst heal from Cyrodiil's Crest, so that's really good. And then the pod that I use the most is this one. It gives me a burst heal, 10k health. It gives me stamina back, so it helps the sustain. And it gives me crit. So as you have noticed, we have 29% crit. So when I use this pod, let me show you, I get up to 39% crit, which is huge. When your vigor tick crits, when your damage crits, like it just buffs your healing and your damage so much. It's really good. Alright, so I think most of the stuff is covered, so I'm gonna do the champion points now. We have 40 into Shadow Ward, because we still need some to block to proc our Cyrodiil's Crest, but we're not running sword and board, so I don't bother putting too much there, and I don't bother blocking a lot. We have 16% into roll dodge. Yeah, I like to roll dodge a little bit. So we then have 10% into increase the resource gain from our heavy attacks. In heavy armor, that's really good. It buffs your sustain by a lot, so don't forget to weave some heavy attacks when you're playing. So yeah, since we are running gold food, so that buffs our magicka recovery, I run a few points in there to get it up to about 1k, so that's nice, it scales well. Then we have 13 points here as well to buff our stamina recovery, of course, and then 20 points into reduce cost of break free to help our sustain. 27 in quick recovery for buffing our healing, 43, 37, 40. I have more in hardy because most players in Cyrodiil are stamina nowadays, so, and they hit harder as well, so I like to have 1% more here than in magicka damage. Damage over time, of course, you need to have it reduced. We have then 57 into resistant to buff our crit resist, so we get about 2.1k, which is the sweet spot for me. So we then have 66 into Ironclad to reduce the direct damage. That's important, so yeah, it prevents one shot. Then in this tree, so I've done a bit of weird stuff here. I have 12% in Mighty, I have 42 in Piercing, I have 56 in Precise Tracks to buff our crits, it's important. Since we're running so many dots, I have 10% in Thaumaturge, and I then have 20% in Master at Arms. I took the points out of Physical Weapon Expert because I don't think buffing our light attacks is that important anymore. And I put 37 points in Elemental Expert. Yes, these buffs are magicka damage on a stamina build. That's because Valkynscoria damage is flame damage, and the Red Mountain is flame damage as well. So I think it's worth it to buff them by about 9%. Don't put too many points here. Don't put points in spell penetration to try to buff your proc sets damage, because we are running 2 sharpened on the front bar, so that buffs the proc sets damage already, so yeah. Alright guys, I think that's it for the build video. Feel free to ask anything in the comments down below. I will answer them. I will answer your questions, so yeah. I hope you have fun with the build, and I will see you next time guys. Peace.